Hi class, let's get started here on our case study number 6. So if you haven't downloaded the case study or read the case study, please go ahead and pause the video and do that now. All right, so you've downloaded this Excel sheet off of the learning activities week 6. You read the case study in week 12, and then you're looking at this and you're like, oh my gosh, there is no numbers. It's just yes or no and what's going on. So the first thing that we need to do is we could do a pivot table, or we can just do a little bit easier function for me, and that is New England. And then go for here. And then do a count if statement. And then I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and click on my function button, and then I'm going to do a all the way down and then say yes, and then the criteria, I'm going to make sure I do it the correct way, because if I do something different with a lowercase, it's not going to correct it. And I'm going to push done, and then we'll see that it comes up as numbers. Now the next one, I'm going to do another count if statement here. And I'm going to select the same range here. And I'm going to go ahead and do no. And then easy peasy. And then I'm going to just do a sum here. I could have just done it. Actually, I'll show you the better way to do it. And just clicking the sum button there, knowing that it's 40. Yes, I am good. And then what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go ahead and just say equaled, and then I'm going to drag this all across and just making sure. And then once I get to 0, and then once I get here, and then there we go. So if we're looking at the case study, we're seeing that there is some numbers and some differences that are going into there. We do want to have some type of statistics here for question 1, or some descriptive statistics, so they want some percentages. So I'm going to put New England here, and I'm going to put our yes divided by our 40, and we see that it's 0.645. And let me do the same thing here, just so I can go faster. Sometimes I type things because I don't know why I do that, but I just do it sometimes. And then there I go. I have it. I have my descriptive statistics for question 1, what they're asking for. I go ahead and I put this into the question 1. So the portion of source cells in region 1, all the way down in there, and we see that, you know what, it's not 100% consistent. So I want to go ahead and look at this a little bit different, and I want to do hypothesis. So I'm going to then go in and say why this is. So make sure that you have something that looks neat like this in the chart, or you can have something exactly like this in there as well. That is totally fine. This is a good one for your paper as well. So in question 2, what we're looking here at is if all the populations are equal. So, you know, we have New England to the Pacific. You know, are they all equal, or is it not? We know that in the United States that there is different taste. So people might have like barbecue, and some people might not like barbecue, or each section has different things in the United States that they're known for. So what I did is I made these charts, and I went ahead and I just took the data, transferred them over, made them a little bit easier for me, and then I did my expectancies. Here is that does not carry and carry, so I have my expected frequencies and I have my actual frequencies. And then here is what I'm going to do. Here is I'm going to do the chi-test to see if I can find out where it is. So when I figure this out, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go ahead and just type it in. it's easier just to type it in to be more in control of it. And so all I did here, just gonna clean that formula up a little bit. Oops, it was perfect the other way. So all I did here is I looked at it and I said, okay, well, I have my actual minus my expected, and we square that. Since it's just 1 squared is only 1, and we divide it by the here the expected frequency, and so we get a 0.0357, and I added all those up. So I go here and I add them all up, and I get a sum, as you see, 7.7 or 7.7 here as well. And I did the same thing here as the Midwest, and I had 16.5. Now notice that the Midwest is 0 because it's exactly the same. Okay, so that's why we have 0 across, and then we have 0 here. So let's go ahead and let's look at our hypothesis here. Okay, so all populations are equal, and we can just go back here and look at this, or go back to our data set. I actually like this chart better after I just did it here. I like this chart to say, hey, well, yeah, it doesn't look pretty even. It looks like it's bouncing around from 0.4 to a high of 0.825, and that doesn't look right. So here I can just go ahead and kind of tell us that. I don't really need the chi-test to tell us that, chi-square test to tell us that. So I know that my degree of freedom, and that is 8 minus 1 because we had 8 samples, and we minus the 1, and I use the p-value corresponding. I have my 23.57 with my degrees of freedom at 7 is 0.0014, and so then I can the p-value is 0.05, and I can reject the hypothesis because we conclude that the portions of the grocery stores that are currently carrying Canadian canned bacon potato chips is not equal across the 8 U.S. cell regions. And that is it. We do not have to do question 3. It is just questions 1 and 2. If you have any concerns or questions, please let me know. You can reach me by email or phone.